So one time in March of, I guess it was our sophomore year of high school, I came out to the student parking lot. We were supposed to go to a Science Bowl meet, actually. We were supposed to drive to one. Came out to the student parking lot, and I was like, where's my car? I know I parked it here, and I kept looking for it. It's not a huge student parking lot. And eventually all the cars were leaving the parking lot and realized
Car wasn't
there. And we ran into our friend who had a similar car.
His car was
still parked there. It was his car was a 1985 Toyota Corolla, and
in blue, in matte blue.
No, it was not in blue. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I'll bet you $5.
His Ford Taurus was blue.
What?
His Ford Taurus was blue, or Ford Escort was blue. This was not a blue car.
Okay.
It was like a grayish kind of car.
All right. Well, in any event. So
somebody had. We gathered that somebody had stolen my car, and they not only did that, they broke into our friend's car.
And the reason our friend's car was still in the parking lot
is they broke into his car, but they jammed the ignition. They couldn't start.
Here's why.
You can open up
on Toyotas made in the mid '80s.
No, actually on all Japanese cars, and even some American cars from the early '90s, even. You can open the car with a pair of scissors.
And start the ignition with a pair of scissors.
With a pair of scissors,
now, our friend's car, probably it was used, the car, and I'm sure the previous owner had gone through that situation and had changed the ignition on it.
So the people who stole our car, they broke into his car, but they couldn't start the ignition with the pair of scissors. So they jammed it.
They jammed his ignition.
He couldn't start it.
And then they ended up going for the next best thing, which was our car, and they were able to break in and steal it. And
a month, cut to a month. So I had just gotten my license, by the way. This was in February.
I'm sorry.
This was like a month after I got my license.
And it was done by another student.
This was in our student parking lot of our high school. No security cameras to look at who might have stolen it. Anyway, very bizarre. That was a month after I got my license, unfortunately. Was without a car, just after getting my license. A month later, they had found the car on the side of the street, and it was impounded, and we got it out of the impound. I guess we had to pay to get it out of the impound. Pardon. And a couple days after we got it back, first of all, when we got it back, we realized that the carjackers stole all of our CDs and cassette tapes that were in there. They stole the Billy Joel 52nd Street. They stole the Madonna Immaculate Collection. They stole the jazz CDs, Nine in Tunisia.
You're forgetting.
Meditation and
they stole Duran.
No, Max, you're messing the story up. Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
You're messing it up.
I am messing it up.
You're messing the story up.
No, we had also a mixed CD on there that had a collection of jazz, some late 70s, early 80s adult contemporary hits.
Like the Little River Band.
And I believe Robbie Dupree was on there.
Anyway,
also Earth, Wind, and Fire.
They stole all of those things. The one cassette tape that they left was Duran Duran, Seven and the Ragged Tiger. But it was virtually unplayable. We put it in the cassette player.
No, it was jammed into the cassette player, I believe.
Anyway, we couldn't play it. It was broken. And we just thought, wow, they must have hated Duran Duran.
But loved everything else.
Can't imagine why they would have hated Duran Duran. I think Duran Duran's one of the best bands from the 80s of all time.
Well, one of the best bands of all time.
Sure. They've got some real grooving beats. If you want to check this out during the quarantine, actually, the bassist of Duran Duran, John Taylor, he was doing tutorials on how to play the bass lines from all the biggest Duran Duran hits. Those were really a lot of fun.
He was quite influenced by disco, actually.
Well, yeah. The band Chic, especially. Anyway, so we got the car back.
And by the way, not only did they steal those musical cassettes and CDs, they also stole the headrests of the seats. Ugh. Isn't that frustrating?
Anyway, we cut cut to a couple days later. We were playing basketball with some friends. I was driving a friend home and got into a car accident with it.